Alrighty, got my tea. It is time for some more Hobby Nightmares. Yes, there has been news 40k wise about Perturabo and about some 11th edition leaks. I'll be getting into that on Thursday, tomorrow. We'll be doing a video on Perturabo tomorrow. If you like free stuff and you want more of me, over on the Patreon for free, all you need to do is join the Patreon as a free member to get access to this. There are 30-minute episodes of the Fireside Rants. Those are daily, every single day. I try and get at least 5 done every single week. So, Monday to Friday, you have a big selection there to choose from. And they're discussing things, well, everything in life, the universe, everything. I can be more personable on there. Not more personable, but I can give away more of myself on there. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just for people who are on the Patreon and want to support me and things like that. And it is free for now. I was going to give it away for free just for a week, but the reception's been so good, the emails have been coming in thick and fast, that I'm going to keep it up for free for a bit longer. I'm going to keep it up there until maybe I choose not to. But yeah, if you want more of me, then that's the place to go, because we're all having fun over there. And I can discuss things that maybe I can't discuss on this channel just yet. Future projects, life goals, worries, mental health stuff, all that stuff is all over there. So if you want to have a little look at that, the Patreon is down below. Go and give it a check out. Let's jump into our first Hobby Nightmare of the day, and it is from... I don't think you've told me to tell you by a different name, so we're going to go with Spitfire. How's it going, dude? He says, "Hey there, Northern, I hope you're having a good one across the pond, as they say." I am, thank you. "I am new to your YouTube channel and wanted to give you a sort of miniature horror story from my latest game. I will start the background monologue by saying I am brand new to 40k. I have made the mistake, the horrible mistake, of buying a list of 2,000 points of Space Marines after a big windfall from a tax return this year. But seeing all these tariffs made me feel a little bit better about that choice. I got into Warhammer after encountering a few GIFs, then memes, of Space Marines. I picked up my first Horus Heresy book, and the hook was set so deep in my wallet, it will never be fully removed. I particularly favoured Jagatai Khan and the White Scars for their wisdom and choices made in the Heresy. Whilst everybody else was pulling the trigger on hasty choices and lamenting their relationship with Superdad while glassing a planet of random humans, the Khan actually used his superpower of common sense to figure out what side he should be on." That's true. That's true. I think Chris Wright did such an amazing job for the White Scars that a lot of other legions are like, ugh, like, we really want that, you know what I mean? I know Ultramarines fans probably think that. Salamanders fans definitely think that, because their books were... Well, Ultramarines books were meh, skip them, you can do. And the Salamanders books, just avoid them, not very good at all. Dark Angels too, nah. Anyway, I made the mistake of choosing the White Scars as my first army. I bought a box of Tactical Marines and learned to paint and learned the pain of painting white very soon after. This was right after the launch of 10th edition and the Leviathan box set. I have watched many a game of 40k in 40 minutes, so I had a sort of understanding of the general flow of the game and how it worked. The best thing to do with white, mate, is take it very, very, very slow. Okay? Learn from your tutorials step by step. White is difficult. It is. But there are ways to go about it and ways to do it and ways to differentiate it. I actually find white, weirdly, easier than black. A lot of things get lost in black. With white, you can just sort of pick out the rivets and the indents of the armor. If you can do that, it's a pain in the ass, but if you can do that, it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. Anyway. Also, battle damage on white just looks cooler. It just looks like, oh wow, yeah, that guy's been through the wars, because you can see it, right? Blood on white too. Awesome. Awesome. Anyway, I needed a few games to learn more and to finally roll those 80 White Scars dice that Games Workshop finally remade that I'd bought. Wow. I found the local store, hopped into their Discord, and got a reply for a game within the hour. We agreed to a 1,000 point game, and he asked me if I minded if he brought his Catan shard list, oh my god, or if he should just bring something more fun. Okay, I was aware at the time that Catan shards had a bit of a power problem. This was before their latest nerf. He told me that the Catan were a really sweaty list, but I said that's fine. I'd like to see how you painted the Nightbringer, and I don't care about the outcome of the game, I just want to play and learn stuff. Well, you're not going to learn, are you? Do you know what I mean? This is where common sense is broken down for you, man. Like, this is not... Let him bring a fluffy list. He's told you can bring a fluffy list. Let him bring a fluffy list for you to learn against. You're not going to learn anything against one of the sweatiest, toughest tournament lists going. That is made up of, what, 5 models? You know, you're learning nothing. I got to the store and found a table. He showed up not too long after. A normal-looking guy, a bit short, but aside from the pyjama pants he was wearing, nothing was out of the ordinary. Well, that's out of the ordinary. Grown man wearing pyjama pants in the shop. No. And by the way, Spitfire, what happens here is your fault. Gotta say it. What happens here is your fault. He gave you the option. He told you, hey, I've got these 2 lists. One is one you should be playing against right now. Right? It's fluffy. The other one, you'll learn nothing, and you'll get your face smashed in. And you said, can I have a face smashed in, please? And then, you know, it is tantamount to going up to the hardest looking dude in the bar and punching him directly in the side of the head. And then he beats the shit out of you. And you go, whoa, why'd you do that? Because you're a moron. That's why you did that. Because, you know, you picked a fight with the biggest, baddest looking person there, and you got what you deserved. So, I'm hoping this doesn't go too bad for you. If this guy's... the way I can turn this, if this guy's actually a really nasty person, then I'll be back on your side again. But if this is going to be a hobby nightmare about him just beating the living hell out of you in the game, that's your fault. He gave you the choice. That's your fault. You know? Anyway. We shook hands and he walked me through setting up the table. I pulled out my 3D printed deployment zone sticks and helped out where I could. We get through the deployment phase and I let him go first. He moves his Nightbringer up the middle and puts it behind some cover next to the middle objective. His Warlord, Imhotep, I think it was on the right flank with some basic Necron shooting infantry. Lastly, he had some big spider looking things. They followed the Nightbringer up the middle of the table. I take my turn and I move some stuff to just practice the motions of doing it. I get Subaru Khan into position to charge the large monster next round with my Ballistic Dreadnought in the back to support him. I caught you in law. I caught you in a snare of law. Yeah. White Scars don't really do Dreadnoughts. They burn their dead. They don't really put them in sarcophagi and make them walk around and stuff. You can have White Scars Dreadnoughts, but they kind of go against the whole theme of the army, and the more lore purists out there will just tell you, no, they can't have Dreadnoughts, they don't have them, right? Just something to think about. Hey, you do what you want with your models, man. Absolutely. I'm just saying, it's a snare of lore. If you like lore. I put the Ballistas in the back to support him. I sent some more Outriders to the right to deal with the infantry. I do some practice shooting and then end the turn. 2 turns come about and my opponent moves through the building with the Nightbringer and charges my Warlord. He lands several hits and I roll my first save ever of 3 5s and 1 6, negating the damage to my Warlord. I fight back and get a wound in, nothing too bad. He comments that was a really good roll, and he is smiling and happy. And as we move into the end of the turn, I just say it's down to beginner's luck. This guy seems alright. I like this guy. I think he's wincing every time he charges you because he's got to play to win, you know what I mean? But he knows his list is really strong, so he's hoping you do some damage. On my turn 2, I want to charge something that he left on the middle objective. I can't remember what the unit is called. It was tall War of the Worlds walker thing that helped nearby Necrons have more healing to resurrection protocols. It was a 12-inch charge, but I didn't much care, as I was just there to get my hands on the actual game. He stops me as I declare, and says, you can't declare a charge against anything that's over 9 inches away. I've watched through enough 40k in 40 minutes to know that's not a general rule, so I ask if it's a Necron-specific rule. He said it was how he played in general at tournaments. I gave a and a haw, and looked over to a nearby table of players and asked if this was a new change to 10th. They said no, and this appeared to shock my opponent. I was a bit stunned. They didn't seem to know, but somehow played in tournaments, with such a handicap on his army. Well, that's up to him, man. But at least he's like, wow, you know, he's not trying to... I don't think he's trying to cheat you. I think he's just, like, generally confused and shocked. I failed the charge anyway with a 9, and just decide to ignore this oddity. The game proceeds, and despite me throwing my entire middle and left flank into the Nightbringer and dying horribly, I had a ton of fun rolling the dice. So, did he, apparently, as he made a few statements like, man, my Catan Shard is going to totally destroy those Outriders next turn. Total annihilation. And those guys got absolutely shredded. The remarks kind of put me off at the time. I wasn't sure if the guy was unaware if I was a total new guy somehow. I tossed out a few more questions about things I knew the answers to already to gently convey that I was in fact still new and I wasn't trying to use tactics today. What? No, mate. No. No, you're doing this wrong. Clear communication. This is very... You're not being aggressive, but it is very passive. You're doing some woman shit right now. We're men at this table. Just tell me what you want. Alright? Seriously. Tip of my tea. Tell me what you want. Don't just say... Don't lay, like, little signs that you might be a beginner. You know, tip foot around. No. Say, hey, mate, I'm new. Do you mind taking it easy on me? Oh, yeah, sure. Problem solved. Like, stop. Don't communicate like a lady. Ladies do this. They'll throw little hints in every now and again. You know, little hints here and there. So I like my missus so much. She just tells me, you need to do this. Okay. And I do it. It's done. Right? There's no like, wouldn't it be nice if, or, maybe. No. Just be nice and clear with your requests and what you need. What you're doing here is you're pussyfooting around and you're putting the onus on understanding you on him. It's kind of like going to a restaurant and when they say, what would you like? You say, surprise me. No, it's not my fucking job to surprise you. Tell me what you want from the menu or get out. Seriously. It's not my responsibility to choose something. I don't know what your dietary requirements are. I don't know what your allergens are. I don't know what you like or dislike. Just tell me what you want. Or, tell me what you like and then ask me what I'd recommend. That I can do. But just surprise me. Go fuck yourself. That's what you're doing here, man. You're expecting him to have all the mental load of knowing who you are and what you're doing. By little snippet conversations here and there. We're not playing fucking Cluedo, dude. Just play the game. Talk to him. Needless to say, that didn't seem to alter his mood, and I kind of felt soggy and unhappy at the sudden cold water bath. I remember thinking to myself, did I just encounter one of those guys on my second game of 40k? No, he's having fun at the table, dude. He's having fun at the table. He assumes you know what you're doing. That's what's going on here. We end round 5 with a score of 90 Necrons to 15 White Scars. He shakes my hand and says, a very good game. And then, guys from the other table came over and asked how the game went. And my opponent said, and I quote, wow, the Nightbringer feasted well on souls this day. I kind of locked up, confused, because I could, for the life of me, not tell if he was being a passive-aggressive arsehole, or if he was just excited to play and was nerding the fuck out. Dude, he's just being a nerd. Chill. Chill. This is kind of one of those instances where... This is one of the first Hobby Nightmares where we're seeing somebody's watched Hobby Nightmares and has gone into their first game expecting one to happen. This ain't a Hobby Nightmare, dude. This is just a guy who likes models and just having fun. You don't need to worry about it, right? He wasn't being an arsehole. He's wearing pajama bottoms, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? He's probably a bit autistic. He's having fun, loves his models. And he did give you the choice. He gave you the choice. He said, do you want to play against this really sweaty list or a normal list? You chose the sweaty list. You said, I want to step into the boiling water, please. And then you're like, ow! It's really hot in there. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't put your foot on it next time. You know, play a nice balanced list. Anyway, I shrugged it off and went home to put more models together. Good plan. I am on the autistic spectrum, and I have a similar issue to another submitter you had uploaded to your channel. I don't think it's a superpower. It's a permanent debuff, and all I want to do is blend in with normal people. Yeah, when I said it's a superpower, people like took that the wrong way. What I mean is you're very good at one specific thing. Do you know what I mean? Could be anything. But you are debuffed everywhere else, right? It's sort of like, imagine making a D&D character with like, you know, like out of 20 intelligence, but he's locked to 4 in every other stat. Do you know what I mean? That's what being autistic is like. You are 20 out of 20 in one thing. What you're not good at is everything else in the world. Right? You're not good at any of that, but you're good at this one thing. If you can learn to try and bump up those other skills like a 6 or even a 7, then you're living a healthy autistic life. Do you know what I mean? You're literally there. But it's a constant struggle. It's a constant struggle to keep those numbers up. My debuffs aren't badges to be worn on my chest while I perform at the circus. They are hurdles I have to get over every day just to be normal. So thank you for uploading that Hobby Nightmare adjacent tale. It's good to know I'm not alone out there. Yeah, you're not, man. You're not at all. And, you know, you made the wrong choice here in picking the wrong army to go against. But that doesn't mean that, you know, you should give up on the hobby. I know you're not, but, you know, don't worry about it. You made one bad mistake, one bad choice. If you'd have played... This is the kind of guy that you played against here. If you played against a nice, normal list with him, he'd be awesome to play against, he sounds like. He's just having fun. He's being narrative. He's having fun. He's having a laugh. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like. Anyway. I don't know how to talk in certain scenarios that I'm uncomfortable in, but I'm very observant and I picked up on things that other people don't. This guy absolutely stumped me. Either he was genuinely just really excited to play, or he was a master at being passive-aggressive. Do you think there were any red flags here? Should I avoid playing this person, or should I go for another chance? Tally-ho, good chum. Alright, cheers, man. So, any advice for painting white too? I gave it before, yeah. Get some Nuln Oil, and don't worry about your mistakes too much. Get some Nuln Oil, put it in the recesses of the model, especially if it's a Space Marine or something. Put it in the recesses of the Primaris Marine, and then tidy it up afterwards. Accept that painting white's going to take longer. You know... Get 5 Marines based, as in the white is on the model, done, an evening, and that's it, you know? That's what I would do if I were you. Take it nice and slow. So, and also YouTube, man, painting white, YouTube, best thing. So, no, I think this guy was genuinely just being a cool dude. He's just a hobbyist who likes his models and likes celebrating things going on in his wargame. That's it. You don't need to worry about it too much. The only mistake you made was selecting the big, bad list to play against. That's a bad thing, but apart from that, no. Never, ever put something down to malice that you can put down to incompetence, right? When dealing with other people. Most people out there are just ignorant and stupid. So, you know, he's having fun. He's not being malicious. He's not being passive-aggressive. He's not being malicious. This is just who he is. Right? Just a normal guy who likes models. That's it. You know? Is he a bit ignorant? Yeah. Yeah, but he's a wargamer. We're all ignorant. We all float down here. No, we're all ignorant in this hobby. We all shout and we all have fun. We all roll dice. That's just what it is. So you don't need to worry about it too much, alright? Just make sure next time, play him again with a nice balanced list. And then come back to me and tell me how it went. Alright. Our next Hobby Nightmare comes from... What's his name? Ben. How's it going, dude? He says, hello, Mr. Exile. I am a long-time listener. Well, thank you very much, man of culture. Thank you very much. But a first-time writer, and I've thought long about writing to you. I have a couple of minor nightmares. 1 or 2 fun things as well. Something that really weighs heavily on me lately, though, is in here too. It's about self-doubt and the question... What if I was that guy? You can call me Ben in this nightmare. I'm nearing my 40s and English isn't my main language. I hope you can excuse the spelling errors. I can, mate. No worries. I attached a couple of army and modelling pictures for you to show when you want. I'm sorry for my potato level camera work. Feel free to drink a beverage of your liking whenever you feel you have the need to. Alright, well, let's have a look at some of these models first. Oh, Custodes. Okay, cool. Always nice to see female armies represented in 40k. That was a joke. Moving on. Chaos, lovely, lovely, lovely. Night Lords as well. Okay. Oh, these are well painted Imperial Knights. Yeah, these are nice. Those are very nice. I like those a lot. I like a lot. Guard, dude, yeah, you're mana culture. Absolute mana culture. These are all really good. And another Imperial Knight with a Necron shooting at him. Okay, cool. I think we're going to go with this one for the Hobby Nightmare. I really like it, so we'll go with that one. Alright. Here's a bit of background about me. To help understand where I come from and why I think and do the things I do. If this becomes too long, you can skip ahead to the hobby-related stuff. No, it's only like half a page, it's fine. I'm quite an introvert of small, compact stature with glasses. That has made me a prime target for bullying and beating by older kids in school. Even in the educational school for the job I later learned, I was frequently beaten up and bullied. I tried fighting back, but it was 5-to-1 odds most of the time. It became so bad that they threatened to kill me, and I was so done with it at that point that I just laughed, telling them that I didn't care anymore, that they would just spend the rest of their lives in prison. It weirdly stopped after that. That's actually quite a good comeback. If you're not going to fight, that's quite a good comeback. That's quite a good comeback. All you need to say is, yeah, well, my parents know what you guys do to me, and they know exactly what you've been saying to me, so if you did ever kill me, you'd be in prison. 5 minutes. So, go ahead. I'd love to ruin your lives. Go ahead. You've made my life such a misery. Go ahead. I would love to ruin the rest of your lives by putting you in prison. You know? That's such a good comeback. Very clever. After learning to be... unless they actually do it, and then, you know, obviously... obviously that backfires. After learning to become an electrician, I immediately served in my military voluntarily for 8 years. Something I had planned to do for my whole life, thanks to my grandpa's influence. The military would really build me back up and teach me that I am good at things. I got taught far beyond my rank and was well respected by the whole squadron. It was a great fun time that shaped me into the man I am today. Afterwards, I relearned a new job and moved to a new city to live closer to my then girlfriend. Dude, I honestly think that the army is... Or discipline. You know, the army going in with the right outlook. If you're going in because you've got no other choice, that's bad. But if you're going in because you want to serve and learn skills and get better at stuff, become an engineer, you know... I've got mates who went in to, like, I think they went into the Air Force and they've learned how to drive. They've got diplomas in engineering that are highly sought after. They've got diplomas in IT that are highly sought after. They've then left after 5 or 6 years of just getting paid a decent wage. So they've got money behind them too, and a flat, and and most of the time they come out of the military and they go into other fields that are looking for guys who have just left the military in these fields, and now they're working, doing really well for themselves. So yeah, it can be a pathway to doing good things in life. I was on a 2-year probation and immediately ran into a brick wall. The team I was assigned to at work did work that I had little experience with. I told them before, but was dismissed. From the first day on, I was told how useless I was, that I would never get work anywhere else. I could do nothing right, nothing quick enough. The team leader was a hawk around me, watching my every step. I couldn't do anything right, so from 8 years of being a well-respected expert, down to a useless scrub. I kept my mouth shut. The team leader was old, experienced and well-respected by the others, and I wanted to suffer through the 2 years of probation. But it didn't work. After 1.5 years of this, my relationship ended with quite a bang, as I found out. I'd been basically cheated on from day one. I am no psychologist, but researching about my own and my ex-girlfriend, I had the strong suspicion that she was a narcissist, and me being the happy, obedient co-narcissist. Oh, fair enough. That was the breaking point for me. Friends had always suspected me to have depression, but I never really listened to them. I really spiralled down into my lowest of lows, with self-harm, heavy drinking, and lots of thoughts about ending it all. After a particular bad episode, friends sent the police to my home out of worry. Best friends, the best friends that you could wish for. I was lucky to find help, and quickly, and went to stationary therapy. Stationary therapy? Like with pencils and shit? Statutory. I think you mean statutory? Is that what it means? Stationary. Today we shall learn about pens. Okay, stationary statutory therapy for 3 months. Afterwards, I was in a weekly therapy session. My work didn't prolong my contract beyond the 2 years after I came back. The boss told me he had spoken with all the team leaders and decided together that I wasn't a good fit for the work. Later I found out that none of the team leaders ever had such a talk. I suspect to this day that after 3 months of being sick, my work wanted to get rid of a potential future problem. Luckily, and with help, I quickly found new work only 5 minutes away. Similar work, but with a great team that makes me the way that I am. Over the years, I am back to be an all-rounder expert in many fields and tasks, and I am well respected in my current job. My mental health became better. I found a new girlfriend with a kid, and we moved together. I went to the gym, stopped drinking and smoking now for over 8 years, but depression never really leaves you for real. There rarely is a complete healing. It sticks with you for the rest of your life. You learn to deal better with situations, you learn to see the signs and understand yourself better. I still suffer from self-doubt and a low self-esteem from time to time. Yeah, Jim, I'm into the hobby now, but like, before we get into the hobby, you seem like the kind of guy who he will look for external scaffolding. Okay? Do you know when you put scaffolding around a house to keep it up, to make it stronger? You're the kind of guy who's been so battered by depression that you will get into a job or a relationship or whatever to arm yourself with more scaffolding to keep yourself upright, you know what I mean? And I love the fact that your current job gives you that scaffolding, because they make you feel good and they make you feel like, you know, but it also means that you're averse to bad times, you know, bad times create strong men and all that. You're averse to those bad times. It means that when that scaffolding is taken away, you kind of start to crumble and break, and you have a terrible time of it, you know. That's not a weakness, man. That's just how the human brain, that's how it works. But I'm really, really, really glad that you've got yourself on an even keel here, and you're going in the right direction, so good for you. Right, hobby time. Thanks to my grandpa, I had a really big interest in World War II. I like to play with toy tanks and toy soldiers, but soon found actual modelling kits to be the better toys, as they looked proper, like the things I saw on the books and TV shows, things like that. I know it's not a toy, but tell that to my young self. So I would build a lot of modelling kits, and soon, in my favourite shop, I spotted weird-looking kits. Nothing I'd seen in real life before, but it looked really cool. I bought my first beginner box of paints and brushes with 5 Space Marines. The old snap-fit Ultramarines with yellow shoulder trim. I got hooked, and when I bought the Fire Warrior game for PS2, my fate was sealed. Underrated game, that. A big childhood game for a lot of us, that. Do you remember how all of the Imperial Guard dudes fell over in the same way? Anyway, I bought more and more stuff to grow a potential Ultramarines army. The thing is, I lived in a rural region, I didn't know anybody else who played the game. That didn't change much, even when I moved near my army base later on. But it didn't stop me from collecting and painting, though. Once and then, every now and then, you mean? Once and then, you said, but every now and then. Okay? Every now and then, I got an occasional game in, but maybe 2 to 3 times a year if I'm lucky. That went along until I moved into my new job and way after my therapy. I was lucky one day walking into a hobby store with my new girlfriend, and I spotted 2 guys playing 40k all these years later. I talked a bit with them and got invited into a hobby group on Discord to meet and play. Luckily for me, the bunch of people there soon founded an official hobby club, and I am part of that club. That grows, meanwhile, to a good 80 people. Maybe 20 are really active. We can meet 4 times a month after work, and 1 time on the weekend in a rent-free big space that is property of the city. It's 3 big rooms with enough space for 3 to 4 double tables, and I have many more different gaming tables collected and trying to play at least 2 times a month at the club. I am very self-reflecting, and when I play, I try my best to be somebody you enjoy playing with. My biggest worry is to become that guy. My goal is to have fun for both, so I only play casual games. I chat, I joke, I let take-backs go, I explain every move I'm doing, show every dice roll, I ask my opponent to tell me anything he finds discomforting or troubling. Rules he doesn't understand, or when I get too sloppy with measuring. The hobby means a lot to me, and I want to make absolutely sure not to leave a bad impression on my chosen opponents. Well done, man. Good attitude. The nightmare itself. When I was more and more actively playing tabletop, my then girlfriend got interested in the hobby too. I didn't push her, lure her, or nag her into the hobby. She shouldn't be playing it just because of me. I taught her how to play 40k, and she started to collect a Death Guard army. I couldn't tell it wasn't her main army. Sorry, I could tell it wasn't her main army because she never bothered to read the lore or much of her army game rules in general. I was okay with the occasional game where I had to remind her on a couple of rules. She also played a couple of times in the club against others. After nearly a year, I started to have trouble finding opponents. At first, I thought it was a summer drought, but it kept going. One day, I complained to a fellow player I became friends with, and he shocked me with one of those foreboding words. I don't know if I should tell you. Please don't be mad at me. Wow. Okay. My mind was racing at the moment. What did I do wrong? Where did I mess up? Then came his response. Well, your girlfriend is kind of very exhausting to play against. She barely knows the rules and starts to invent new ones out of thin air. That's great. She recently misbehaved in a game to a newcomer, arguing the rules when presented with the rulebook. Wow. She explained that it must have been recently changed, complained about her opponents being distracted talking to others, while herself not having time for that either way, and being on her phone all the time. Many players start to lie about being available for a game all the time when she asked in the server, so they don't have to play with her anymore. And as you're her boyfriend, it might be that they exclude you as well as, part of the problem. Oh god. My heart sank. Yeah, do you know what, dude? Right. This is what you've done. Okay. You've not set standards. Okay. You're just happy your girlfriend's playing hobby with you. Now, for the home games, that's fine. But if you're bringing your significant other into a big group with other people who aren't you, you need to make sure that your standards are set out. Like, listen, I let you get away with these things, but a normal game, you can't. You've got to learn your rules. Am I saying gatekeep your significant other from your hobby? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Play the game with them at home in whatever way you want. Whatever gets you that blowjob, man. Whatever way you want to play it, you play it at home. No problem. But if she wants to come into a gaming club with you, you need to have a sit down and talk about standards and what's expected. And if she laughs it off, say, listen, I don't want to take you. If that's the attitude, I don't want to take you. Okay? I love you, but I love this. This is my thing. And at this club, this is how we play. If you want to join in on that, I would be overjoyed if you would. If you would learn your rules and join in. Absolutely. But if you're not, that's also grand. We can play at home. It's not a big deal. Or you can come and paint. You don't need to play. You can be around. But this is the standard of gaming that we do at the club. And it's not going to change even for the love of my life. It's not going to change. Okay? You're setting clear boundaries. And if she doesn't like that, fuck her. Honestly, if she doesn't like that, get fucked. Honestly. Because at that point, you're exposing her the bad parts of her personality. Do you know what I mean? If she doesn't get that, don't worry about it, dude. It's fine. Alright. My heart sank. I knew my girlfriend. She had times where she couldn't accept being wrong. Aha! Here we go. Here we go. She would rather argue on and invent stuff out of thin air to help your argument. She is socially a bit awkward too, like me, and would laugh loud and fake often when being nervous. I tried to confront her eventually about that, but it went as bad as I expected. The moment I started, I knew talking to her about it was futile. I said, "Hey babe, I heard there were some complaints about how you behave in the games. Maybe you can be a bit quieter and look up the rules a bit better before you go into the next game, or else no one will want to play you anymore. And I can help you with that." She wouldn't have it. You tried. You tried. But again, you're pussyfooting around, dude. You're pussyfooting around. Hi, hey babe, how's it going? No. Sit down. Sit down, shut up. Like, I love this hobby and you're ruining it for me. Like, that's how you talk to this person. You get through to them. You sit them down. Hey, sit down. Right. I need to say this. I love this hobby and you're fucking it up for me. Like, you're literally ruining it for me. People won't play me because you're so toxic to play against. That's not acceptable. At all. So we need to work on this. Or you don't go anymore. One of the two. If this is your wife, then sit down and have a proper heart-to-heart. If this is just your girlfriend, just sit her down. Just be like, hey, this is not going to fly. I'm getting reports from the guys at the club that you're being an asshole. Don't be an asshole, because your behaviour reflects on me, and now people don't want to play me anymore. You're ruining my hobby time that I need, that I want. It's important to me. If you can't get that through your head, don't fucking go anymore. Simple. Simple. And be angry about it. Get your balls, dude. Be angry about it. I am angry about it. Yeah. Well, you're gonna break up with me over some toy soldiers? Yeah. Yeah, I am. If you don't stop being a dick, then yeah, I am. Because this is important to me. If you don't realise, if your response to something that is important to me is to come in and wreck it just so you can be there, and not just that, you refuse to learn, you're a dick to the people around you, and you reflect badly on me, then I don't want you as a girlfriend. Fuck off. Life is way too short, mate. Way too short. If this person won't change, kick it to the curb. Honestly. Anyway. She wouldn't have it. She didn't do anything wrong. It's not her... Sorry. She wouldn't have it. She didn't do anything wrong according to her. It's not her fault. She wasn't so experienced. She would quit it right then and there. I tried to talk to her, not to throw it all away, but it was futile. I felt terrible, because I feel responsible for that mess. I did not push or encourage her into the hobby, as many might think, but I feel like I ended it for her. What was worse for me is the way my club handled the potential of that guy. No warnings, no hints, not that I heard them at least, no nothing. You would just be silently excluded. Or like you say, she went to the not play again list. Yes, she was put on the not play again list. You would just wonder why you weren't given any more games, why nobody else talked to you anymore. You don't get the chance to better yourself. Yeah, but I agree they should have talked to you. But like, maybe they're thinking, do you know what I mean? That this guy's gonna flip out if it's gonna look really bad if I ever go to his girlfriend to him. I don't know. So the aftermath. This whole commotion left quite a bad impression on me. A year later now, and we had more droughts in our club. Or well, I felt like I had. And immediately my old friend, self-doubt and depression knocks on my door. Maybe I'm not that kind and friendly as I think I am. Maybe I'm not as fun to play with as the people keep telling me. Because after all I know, no one will ever tell you. Many tabletop players, me included, aren't very confrontational. So we just internally decide, okay, I won't play him again, while smiling, good game dude, to your face. The thing is, this thought lives in my head now rent-free. It left such a big doubt on myself and on the others at the club. I try even harder to be on my best behaviour when I play, to the point I fear I look completely fake or weird. I'm so afraid of losing this hobby, even without knowing it. How does one deal with the question, am I that guy, if no one will ever tell you the truth? Thanks for reading this through. I hope it didn't get too messed up. It previously sounded more coherent in my head, and once I'm done, I'm sure I remember all of the things I forgot to say. Have a pleasant day, Ben. Okay, firstly, mate, be very clear in your communication. Unlike our last guy. Be very clear in your communication. At the start of a game, simply say to the other person, hey mate, I really love this, I'm into casual games or whatever. I want to make this fun for you, so if I'm rolling somewhere you don't like or whatever, let me know and I'll sort it. You know, anything you don't like, let me know and I'll sort it. If you're just being a decent dude, I think you're thinking too much into this, man. I really do. If your girlfriend's not going anymore, and you've not brought that up since, they may think that you don't like them. You know what I'm saying? They may think you don't like them, rather than the other way around. Because if they spoke to you about your girlfriend eventually, which they did, one of them did anyway, right? And then your girlfriend stops going, they're going to think, well, that guy's pissed off with us, so we'll just avoid him. That's what I think. You know what I mean? So maybe you should say to the next person, or anybody that you trust, say, hey, there's no hard feelings about that. She was the one who was in the wrong. You guys are awesome. She was in the wrong. There's no hard feelings at all. I don't know who you need to speak to about that. Maybe pull somebody aside. Say, listen, I don't know what was going on with last year with the girlfriend stuff, but like, just so you all know, I've been getting like a weird feeling since then about the group. Man, I am not upset at any of you guys. You guys are awesome. It's her fault. Okay? That's where we are. Maybe you need to do that. Clear the air a little bit. If not, then continue doing what you're doing and get out of your own fucking head. I will say this to you, Ben. Nobody else thinks about you. Sorry. Nobody else cares about you. Your family might do. Your friends might do. People at the gaming club don't give a shit about you. They don't think about you. They don't know you really. They don't think you're an asshole or you're a good guy. They just think you're there. I'm telling you now. Nobody gives a shit. And that works both ways. Number one, you'd like them to. You'd like to get to know them, for them to be your friends. Yeah, sure. But also, if they don't think you're an asshole, they just don't care. They don't care. And I say this to depressed people who have social anxiety all the time. It's not their job to care. I'm not saying you're saying that it is. I'm saying to you now, it's not their job to care about your feelings or who you are. Do you know what I mean? It's their job to play this game and have fun. If you're doing that, fine. By the way, droughts work both ways. Okay? Saying there was a gaming drought, you weren't getting any games, maybe try talking to people. And like, going out of your way to say, hey, do you want to play a game? Now, if you're going up to people and you're offering games all the time and they don't want to play against you, that's when the warning bells can go off and you go, hey, what's going on here? That's when you might need to take somebody aside and say, what's our problem here? Like, what's going on? And can I fix it? Can I do anything? Right? That kind of thing. I bet you're the kind of person who just will put an advertisement out there for a game and not chase it up. Right? So when you get no replies because people are busy, you'll take that as a personal affront to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll expect other people to come to you because you've been there the longest, and you know you challenge me to a game. Oh yeah, sure, I'll come. I'll be there, right? You're dependable, you're fun, but like you rely on them to make the first move. Don't do that. Chase people, chase them down. Say, hey man, let's play. The best way to alleviate all of the social pressure you got on yourself is to get out there and chase down games and give yourself a reputation of being a cool guy to play against. Don't be fake. Don't be happy. Don't be playing the game like you're on tabletop tactics. Ha 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 ha! Isn't that great, man? Isn't that great? Ha 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 ha! My name's Chef. Shut up. My name's the Spider. Shut up. You fucking fool. God, I hate that channel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And they're harmless. They're harmless. They really are. They're harmless. But it's the constant smiles that don't reach the eyes. Hi, friend. Can I have that? Oh, yeah, sure you can, friend. Thank you, friend. Like, that kind of energy. Fuck off. Seriously. Seriously. Again, 40k in 40 minutes does the right thing for me. You know what I mean? Does the right thing. I've got them right, haven't I? It is tabletop tactics, isn't it? That is the, Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, so they're the ones I'm like, ugh, you know, come on, dude. Like, you know. But yeah, don't be fake. Just be you. Just have fun, alright? Anyway. That is me for today. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I will speak to you very, very soon, alright? Have a good one. Bye now. Wrong outro. Correct outro.